Hello. Welcome to Golden Energy 1111, aka Beyond Measure, a space of awareness because awareness is power. And I just heard and spoke damage. I hope everybody having a beautiful day. And if you're not subscribed to Malagograms, she is a podcaster from Houston, Texas. She has YouTube. She has Station Hit. She has Twitter. Well, she don't have Twitter no more because they took her Twitter because they some haters. She has a lot of different platforms. So if you're somebody who was raised in a certain type of trauma environment where it's like was dealers outside and gang culture and all that, she may be somebody that you can relate to, and she's keeping it 100 and real. She do celebrity news, and also she just keep you up on all kind of news far as for the culture. She uses the terms black and nigger and stuff like that. So if you're not offended by those things, because I know what she means, because I mean that's how we were looked at, that's how we was labeled. So you saying I'm black, I'm black. So yeah, I'm bringing her up because she really went really deep today, far as with her Scorpio far as children being abandoned by their parents because of addictions to whatever it is. It could be men, drugs. Most likely is drugs. Drugs is really like a very hard addiction to overcome because it puts you in that sunken place where you can't feel things physically or emotionally, and so you'll be and then it make you feel so guilty and shameful about your actions, things that you had to do to secure those drugs. And people who have never been on drugs can't get the whole gist of why you just don't quit, because they don't know the pain of the withdrawals of how your body is not the same once you use those drugs. So here I am by myself, talking to myself like I said yesterday, and I see I lost a subscriber from my last video. So my last video was not to offend nobody, but I'm not going to not be able to speak on what I'm saying. I'm not going to be able to sugarcoat it because, like I said, my tolerance is not, I'm working on my patience, but me being an adult and me have done shadow work and me observing, like I said, this is all coming from me observing my environment. I'm not going to be just looking at things going on around me or experiencing certain things, and I'm not going to be able to just pretend like this is not what is going on. So my video from yesterday, if you haven't watched that, go back and check that out. Subscribe to Malagograms. She might be under, she has a new handle. It's called New Media with 3 A's. Listen to her message. I think it might be only on Station here today. Listen to her message, and if you can relate to the effects that happens onto children when they've been neglected because of addictions from parents. She got really deep into that today. I felt everything that she was expressing. I was grateful that she even shared that experience, because you could look at somebody and feel like they successful or they who they are, but you don't know what all they had to experience in their life to even get to the point to be that type of person that they are. Because she's really a non-tolerance person. For she's so awesome. This woman, this goddess, she put things into words that I'm feeling. I'm feeling it, I'm seeing it, and I can't even put it into words. I might don't even want to put it into words. But I feel it. My spirit, my soul feels it. And then I'll go listen to one of her podcasts, and she'll be saying what I seen, felt, and she's putting it into words as far as the emotions that I'm feeling or how I took in what it is that is being presented in front of me. And I appreciate that, because her honesty is something that's hard to find in this world. And I've been subscribed to her basically ever since I've been on my spiritual path. And she has been a friend to me without even knowing me, because she's so honest, and people don't like honesty. That's just point blank period. I can remember family members making jokes about me, talking about I think I'm Martin Luther King back in the day, because I was always trying to give tips and shit, or letting people know what I see far as what's coming forth, to warn people and try to help people. But it was looked at as, oh, I'm being preachy. That is a word Malago said earlier, actually. Like, you know, she was like, let me get off that topic or subject, because she didn't want to be preachy. And the whole thing stemmed from Krishan and Junior, and all the effects that Junior is experiencing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, yeah, let me do this. This car broke down right here, so, yeah, this car's broke down. I'm so mad. And the crazy thing about it, I'm from the same place where Krishan is from, and I want to tell Tony Braxton and all the Braxtons, y'all keep going around talking about y'all from Baltimore. Y'all are from Baltimore County. Okay, it ain't no just all areas in Baltimore are not the same. Krishan and them from over west. I'm from east and west. I'm born east, but they did mixed everybody up, put the west over the east and the east over west. So I'm east and west. Krishan and them from over west. My aunts and them is entangled over west. And I'm bringing this up because Krishan, supposed to be father, was once married to my aunt. And this was recently, like 2-3 years ago. I didn't even realize, because I don't associate with my aunt like that, because for the last, I don't know how many years, my aunt did a fraudulent case for child support, pretending like she had guardianship of me, and filed child support on my father, me being unknowingly, because I don't really communicate with my own father like that either, growing up because of his addiction. And so basically my father been paying her child support for me when she did not even raise me. But that's not the point of this video. But I'm just trying to encourage somebody, if you want to get some kind of healing and compassion, and also encouragement, and see that you can still accomplish what it is you set out to do, regardless of your background, okay? Because what Milagro shared with the world today about her childhood and her background, and she was crying, I'm crying, people crying, because it was so, like, painful to hear what she had experienced and even still experiencing. Okay, your childhood, your traumas for your childhood just don't just disappear, because that stuff is in your subconscious mind, and that's how you operate every day consciously. It's just like a computer. You go throughout your day, your brain and mind is processing the different experiences that you have with people, places, and things. Then that data goes down into your subconscious mind when you go to sleep and you astro and you dreaming in your dream state, which is the spiritual realm. And now that is a part of how you're going to respond to your environment when you get up. So years and years and years of trauma and abuse, sexual abuse, negativity and all, your perception on the world, because it's being projected through you, okay? Because we mirroring shit. So now you putting out this negativity because you feel like this world is so negative towards you, but really it is you creating creating the negativity. Now I ain't talking about the trauma and abuse and all, because you have beings that's at play creating magic squares around you so that you can have these experiences. Which this all sums me tying it back around to the word damage. Okay, I was riding down the street like I am right now, and I heard damage, and I was like, damn. Okay, you had all these bands who worked so hard to create all these different environments, and like I said, magic squares where they put drugs in the community, and you know, what they doing now, ushering all these different people and pretending that they are doing like oh, get out of our country. No, that's for the news or whatever. They are paying people to come here so they can have these people on their side far as government and all that, because they know that the people that's born in this country is not with the BS. We are like, you know, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're not in the Pisces age anymore. And that got to do with the Mayans calendar. You know, that everybody was thinking it's doomsday. It's the end of the world. It was the end of an age. Pisces is all about imagination and illusion, and you able to, they used it to the max. They was able to manipulate and cause all these illusions, lights, Lucifer, L, and cause people to believe in certain religions. But not only did they cause these illusions and stuff, they beat people to submission to believe in these things. And I mean, you want to save your family, so eventually through many generations somebody gonna be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna have to sell out, because I want, even though I'm not suggesting nobody to sell out, because my soul is just not gonna let me sell out for nothing, because I know that I'm all infinite, and you got to have a good starting place. So, but if your starting place is, oh, I'm from another country and I was born here on a ship and I was abused and my whole family was raped, and these beings, they finally care about us now, and all being submissive, you gotta first think, okay, the God that they gave you. And I was thinking this before my spiritual path, like, why would they give you a God that could defeat them? That's the first thing you got to think about. They got these Bibles all and everywhere. Hotels where it's going down, dropping like it's hot. And churches, hospitals, jails. And it's not, because I want to say the Bible is not lying. It's how you're perceiving it. Like wherever your conscious mind is at, how much conscious information you have or lack of that you have, that's how you're going to interpret the scriptures. And I'm going to repeat this again, that I was a Christian, so this is not me coming at Christians. My grandmother is a Christian to this day. My family, most likely, they all believe in Christ. My grandfather is a minister, a deacon at one of these great big churches up in here. And I was raised, and I once did trust and believe in that religion. I did call on them, the spirit of Jesus Christ. I have been baptized twice. So this is coming from my own experience, okay? And it would be up to you to do your own research, and for you to do your own spiritual healing, or whatever it is that your spiritual path is, if you have one, for you to come to your own conclusion about if what I'm saying is something that you want to relate to or can relate to. I'm not pushing nothing on nobody, but I started to realize calling on that spirit, that energy, was causing more suffering in my life versus healing or helping me in my life. So I stopped praying. And those who pray are the ones being prayed on. Because if you praying, you is in lack. I'm not in lack. So I don't pray anymore. I invoke the spirit. I command the spirit. This is what I want, so this is what I'm going to get. And I'm reprogramming my subconscious. I'm taking out old data that was hurtful, harmful, not helpful for my greatest good. The video I made that I posted before this one, and I just seen a white butterfly. Thank you, Spirit. That's confirmation that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And if it offend you, it's not meant to offend you. And if I'm saying something that you don't like is making you upset, it's most likely that's something that your spiritual team is trying to get across to you. Because I had to face a lot of painful truths. Okay, I heard you, Spirit. Yep. So I just thought about Virgo. That's during a time where you face a lot of painful truths in the Virgo energy. But we just coming out of Capricorn. Damage. The beings that love to stay in control because they with the lights, the Lucifer and all, because all this is really illusion. It don't feel like an illusion to you because you live in this every day. But the spiritual realm is the real realm, and that's darkness. And it's eliminated by our conscious. But we have within ourselves, that's why you have to go within yourself as beings and created these lights and illusions so that we can have this 3D experience. And you got some beings who, I want to say, they stuck in the 3D, or they want to keep this 3D experience going like it's the real experience, and that like this is all that exists when we just in a small portion of the universe, so that they can continue to use your life source energy to keep this going like a fucking sweatshop, and to keep you docile so that you won't try to come down here making no changes for the beings who has maximized with the Saturn, especially with the Saturn energy, which I just found out that Saturn went into retrograde. So that's Saturn going back. The great mother Saturn is going back to correct or the redo some structures that need to be redone. Like this structure is not steady. This has to come down. This has to be redone. Let me take this back. Gaia will take that shit back and rebirth some new shit, because this is not the way Gaia wants to feel. That's not the way Gaia wants things going. And if you don't know who Gaia is, that is Earth. That is this planet, this existence, this realm that we are on. That's Gaia. This planet is a being. These are beings. Saturn is a being. They are conscious beings. They feel this on a star level because they are not little people as us, little cells. Hear me? There go the white butterfly, came closer. They are our ancestors, our grandmother. Saturn is like our grandmother. They evolved in foot. They're the Titans. Okay? So damage, I'm going to keep saying it because that was the whole point, but I have to first fill in the blanks for y'all before I can get to the part of me talking about the damage. Because you have beings who, for whatever reason, yeah, I heard you, Spirit, they come from another existence. They see this planet as an opportunity, is fruitful, or whatever. Then you had kind-hearted beings already here who was a part of the manufacturing of this existence. And then you have beings who see this existence and say, oh yeah, we're going to go down there and we're going to run it up. Like, we're going to be straight, because they abused their own planet and now they need somewhere to go. They come here, and now we have what we have today. Chaos. They abuse chaos, because you need a negative and a positive to get more positive. You can see that with a battery. But they abuse the chaos energy, the feminine energy, and the masculine energy. They are disabused it, like they do all the shit they disabuse. So they put certain magic squares in certain neighborhoods. That means when you're a kid and you go outside your door, this is the first thing you see. You see somebody leaning over, they on some substances. You go to school, your teacher might be a op telling you ain't gonna be shit, or you might be a student that is not able to get certain education because you don't want to sit still in a goddamn classroom. That's not the best way for you to learn. Like, you don't want to be learning how to do A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. This over. You're not learning. You don't want to learn how to just to be a robot. Then your family, you come home, your family members arguing. They want to kill each other. Like, so you thinking this normal life, and then when you try to have some kind of saving grace, you looking for a way out. Your elders like, oh, here's this book here. Like, here's this book. So then so that means you got all these things around you, and you not even aware that, okay, first of all, you born into this family because of past life energy you brought in, whatever karmic shit that you spun yourself into this existence. So now these are your parents. Which, after listening to how Milagro was speaking to her mom, I'm going to call my mom and let her know that she has always been more than enough. Because it's in reverse. People think, okay, you had your kid and your kid came out a certain way, but in the spiritual realm, your kid chose to come out of that portal. Like, you chose your parents, basically is what I'm saying. For whatever reason, energetically, you resonated with these beings, these people. You followed these spirits to resonate through that portal of your mom, through your father, with his thoughts, through your mom with her feelings, and it came together, and then you became the being that you are. You chose your parents. Don't like it? Go within yourself and figure out why you chose your parents. Because then they make it in reverse, and you like, damn, why my life so hard, and you blaming shit and all that. You need to go within yourself to find out, why the fuck did I choose these parents? Like, why did I resonate so much with this type of neighborhood existence or whatever, to be born out into this environment? Because there's most likely something that you need to heal to get out of your spirit, so that you will no longer resonate with that. So with your next lifetime, whether you come back in 3D or you ascend to 6D, wherever you come out birthed in, because spirit's going to go into something to have an experience. Because if you're not into something, you can't have no experience, because you're just a spirit. So you're going to go, well, hold up. Well, even if the spirit is not in a physical body, those spirits are still in this existence. So they're still in something if they're not in a physical body. So you in a physical body or you not in a physical body, but you're always in something. We're always inside of something. Something's inside of that. Something's inside of that, and over and over and over, or whatever. Damage. The beings who want to stay in control, who are more than aware that we're in a certain age and they're being controlled or manipulated, or they done teamed up with other beings. I just heard spirits say the archons, the demiurge, shit like that. Beings that for whatever reason, they don't want to go within themselves no more. They're afraid to go within themselves, because what's in them, what they have attached themselves to, is too fearful for them. So they will rather project certain shit out or manipulate other beings to do certain behaviors and characteristics, so that it can make them feel like they are not as fucked up as they are, but really they're just demonic. Point blank period. You're dense, you're demonic, you're down in density. They might be going to motherfucking Hades, or they in Hades, and they might then been in this room so long they can no longer even get a physical vessel. So they're going to manipulate other shit so that other beings who have the opportunity to go into a better existence can keep adding on more karma to themselves, so that they trying to make a motherfucker be like them, basically. They want people to be fucked up like them. So they create all these magic squares to cause people to be born in these environments. But don't forget that for whatever reason you resonated with being born in a certain environment. A lot of yours, you gotta know this, not your first time. Like, it's been eons of fucking existences. And the more that you meditate and heal and go within, the more you will overstand, not understand, overstand who you are, where you come from, why you here, your purpose, whatever. You can start your healing process and help heal your family members or release them from this existence. People might be trapped, all kind of shit. But the beings who been causing all this pain and manipulation and, like I said, getting people to come from other countries so that they can use them as a pawn to keep the beings down over here, so that the beings over here that's from here won't tap deep into their spirituality and wake up other gods and goddesses, and so they can feel like they still in control and stuff like that. They spirit let me know that they thought that they was going to be able to create more damage than what they have already done. Okay, they have created a lot of damage, but they felt like they should have been able to, like, make this shit torturous. It is torturous, but, like, really, like, just what's that shit? What's that goddamn show? The Hunger Games. And that's why they hadn't. And that's why they bringing in all these new people as these pawns and getting everybody all emotional about these wars and all. Growing up watching the news, I never could understand why they will be talking about shit that's happening in other countries all the time. Like, this war going on here and America's going to do this and America. And it used to make me feel like, oh shit, America, this shit, like, we always going to be safe in America. Then I started getting older and going outside and boom, like, what the fuck going on in America where I live? This shit is crazy. But I remember being a kid watching the news, wondering why we used to always have to look at the Queen and shit in Rome and shit, because that's America. The Europeans is America. That's America. The Pope and shit, that's America. How the fuck they running America? Anyway. So yeah, damage. And they want to do more damage. Who are these people? You know who these people are. I don't have to tell you who these people are because it's not a secret. They want to be in the shadows, but we from the shadows. That's the spiritual realm. It's the shadows. They want to do more damage. They are upset because they feel like they haven't done enough damage. They have not put enough drugs in the neighborhood. They have not put enough. They have not done enough surgeries on people and shit, and investigating and lying and pretending like they doing healthcare. That's not healthcare. That's motherfucking research. I live right here where John Hopkins at, so that's what goddamn research. But matter of fact, I think it was Sinai Hospital that cut on my spine for no reason. Had me believing they had some kind of technology to stop me from being in pain and all that. And I'm calling for justice and judgment for that, for y'all cutting on my spine. Y'all know that your energy leaks out if you get like a damage and shit like that. And your spine is everything. This video is getting kind of long. But I heard damage and I'm like, damn, they thought they was going to do more damage. They thought it was going to be worse than what it is. It's not the best. But these beings who've been operating to control environments, make certain neighborhoods, and they want to make like this shit natural. They want to make like this weather natural, like the world so wicked and all. No, these are entities that are connected to deities that are causing these things to happen. And Lucifer, the light bringer, with the Venus energy, it's not all what you may think it is. Like, it's how can I say, that is what's causing us to have this 3D experience, because the spiritual realm is dark, it's black, it's conscious, it's melon. And you but now we got this existence. Lucifer could be the god of this existence because he is the one who, it is the one, the energy is, that's the one who went within itself first and was able to see that, okay, I can use my imagination to create this physical shit. so that we can have this physical experience. But the Lucifer energy don't want to recognize divine source because it come from divine source, but it want to be like it's its own source. So it's like doing whatever it want to do with the demiurge energy, the dis energy, and that's selfish to keep people unaware of who they are, so that they don't use their own energy to create their own fucking experience. And if you keep believing that you are all these titles and concepts, which are spirits, if you keep believing in these concepts and ideas and titles and labels and words that people form for you to believe in to create a certain experience, that's what's keeping this shit going the way it's going. Or you can choose to say, you know what, hold up. Let's do a redo. All that shit that I learned, that shit doesn't even matter. Stop holding on to the past. Like, this don't matter. Because if you're making it matter, then it's going to matter. It's going to keep on creating the same fucking traumatic environments. But if you say it don't matter, I'm going to start from here. I know who I am. You decide who you are. If you want to be a motherfucking butterfly goddess queen, that's who you are. You is because really you is a spirit, not none of these things, but you do have to decide what character you want to play in this existence, what character you want to present for the experience that you're going to have since you're here. So you have to decide, and you have to play that character out. But you want to let somebody else decide what character you're going to play, or are you going to choose what character you're going to play? Because I done chose already. This is golden energy, 1111, beyond measure, aka Mama Nova, and I have come to you with this message, with the energy of Archangel Gabriel. So I hope that you receive this message, because Gabriel energy is cold. Gabriel energy destroys old concepts that don't make no motherfucking sense, so that new shit can be brought in. We create new energies all day, all the time. It's just destroying energies. These energies, it's like they have to be transformed. Instead of, you can't just destroy an energy. Like, it just, like a battery has to run out for it to not work, right? So energy just not going to disappear. But you can use that battery, or use that battery for something else, and that energy will go down, and it will die, but then it might could be recharged. What kind of battery is it? Some old outdated battery. Well, you know what? Yeah, I heard you, Spirit. These old concept of energies, they will burn themselves out because it won't be useful no more, and nobody will not remember it. Or even if they remember it, you put it in a book or something like that, nobody's going to read that book. Nobody's going to go to that for no information anymore, because it's not helping nobody. It's doing more harm than good. I'll be back with another message. The damage that they thought that they was going to do, they did not do as much damage as they thought they was going to do. So they want to do more damage. So make sure that you out the way when they attempting to do the damage. Make sure you're not being used as a vessel with your negativity or what's in your subconscious mind to create this reality. You every time you go to sleep, you can go to sleep to some meditational music, or you can throughout your day start doing things differently, so that you're creating a new cycle and you're not going back in old timelines and shit. You can go through a new portal, and you can start creating new experiences for yourself. So then when you go to bed, if you can sleep, because some people can't even fucking sleep. Like, I don't know how. I mean, you know what, I'm not going to say that, because at one time I could not sleep. I do sleep now, but I remember for like matter of fact, it was around a pandemic. One time I could not fucking sleep. Like I was matter of fact, cause oh man, I'm gonna have to this gonna have to be another video. Cause God, my lights was flickering, all kind of shit, and I was starting to see the spirits and shit. And I'm like, yo, something is up. And basically, I had got abducted, abducted by my spiritual team. They snatched my ass up and got me up out the way, because I, in my 3D mentality, was about to do something that would have been damaging to me and my spiritual growth and my spiritual path. I would probably not even be sitting here able to make this video if my spiritual team did not jump in, snatch my motherfucking ass up, and took full control and got me up out the way, because I was about to make a very fucked up decision. My spiritual team was really trying to get to me with this information, and I wasn't strong enough, aware enough to put two and two together to understand what they was telling me, because the government was my God. And I was trusting and putting all my faith in that belief that they're going to take care of me. Like I said, I was a little girl believing like, oh, why do we got to deal with all these countries? Why they keep putting all this stuff on the news about these countries? And then, like, oh, shit, George Bush ain't playing no games. They lie what they think this is. 9/11? Oh, no, America, we going to be safe. America, they don't play with America. They ain't find out America doing all this goddamn shit. But pretending, America throwing rocks and hiding their goddamn hands so they can control the motherfuckers in here. Matter of fact, America is with these people. Goddamn it. Y'all take care.